When we return to Stobart FM, we'll continue our debate on if grease paint and clowns' noses are essential things to pack for wherever you're going, or if they're just things that will clutter up your pockets needlessly. All this and more on Stobart FM. Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Broken Sword 2, and when last we left off, we talked to a number of people around Quadamonte, including Dwayne, and the General, who's in the police station, and apparently also deals with tourist information. We're going to talk to everybody else that's around here now. Who knows, maybe they might have some vital clue that will help us distract the General. That said, I think Nico gave us the most important clue, but we'll talk to everyone else first, starting with you. Hello, how are you?
Do you have crabs?
No, only fish.
Let's talk about the fish.
Nice fish.
Thanks.
If, by some remote chance, I ever need a fish, I'll be back.
I get the feeling we might not need a fish.
Do you recognize this statue?
Si, senor. It is very, very bad luck. That is Tezcatlipoca, Night Hunter.
I know, but I don't believe in luck, good or bad.
You may not now, but you will.
The guy looked scared out of his wits.
Go away.
By the way, that is not true, George. You have a lucky piece of coal. Let's talk to the people playing, shall we? See what they have to say.
Hey, cheer up, guys. What's with the long faces?
Our pipe player has been arrested and thrown in jail.
Poor Miguel. He never broke the law in his life.
I wonder if we're going to have to break Miguel out. Let's talk about Miguel.
Why was Miguel put in jail?
For playing folk music.
What?
It's true, senor. He insisted on playing traditional Quaramonte music, even though it's illegal.
Curious.
Why don't you try playing a tune to cheer yourselves up?
No, we should be looking for real jobs.
We could earn 10 times as much down the mines. My cousin Ramirez was earning 8 pesos an hour.
Before he lost his legs in the accident.
Ah, I think we've talked to him already. Let's talk about the mine.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Teoculcan. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them, including your cousin, and they left half of him behind.
Let's talk about the General. By the sounds of it, he's not well liked.
Tell me about the general. You know, the guy in charge around here.
We don't want to talk about him, senor.
How come? No one can hear you. Well, only that old goat.
In Quaramonte, we have a saying. Don't tell your old goat what you don't want your wife to know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Fair enough. Would you like a dog biscuit? I'm asking too many people if they want a dog biscuit, aren't I? I think I am.
Would either of you guys care for a biscuit?
A dog biscuit, senor?
Are you trying to insult us?
No, really. They're good.
We'll take your word for it.
I'm not surprised. I bet you're not going to like us talking about that, so we'll leave that to last.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, senor.
Me neither.
Well, that was short. What about a tequila worm?
What do you make of this little worm?
No good. It's dead.
Sure it's dead. You think I'd carry it around in my pocket if it wasn't?
The bigger question there, George, is why you're carrying it around at all.
Take a look at the design on this label.
I have seen that before.
Where?
There was a ship flying a flag just like that.
When did you see this ship?
3 months ago. It was here, at the docks.
Too long ago for it to be significant immediately, but we'll talk about it some more.
What was the ship with the Condor flag carrying?
I don't know, senor. We weren't allowed near the docks.
That's right. Usually we meet the ships when they tie up.
We play to the tourists.
Well, when the Condor ship came in, we were told to go away.
Curious. What about the eclipse?
Do you guys know anything about a total eclipse?
What is it?
It's like when the sun is hidden by the moon.
It's crazy.
My cousin Alfredo swears he saw it happen once. But that was after he stupidly consumed a cocktail of peyote and antibiotics.
Oh, it's going to happen. Sooner than you think. Finally, we'll ask about this.
Have you seen anything like...
Aye, the hungry chief.
Why are you carrying that thing around with you, senor? Don't you know who it is?
Sure, it's Tezcatlipoca. But it's only a little carving.
It brings death, senor. Death and destruction.
Well, that's a nice thing to learn about. Anyone else that we can talk to? I think there were a few people over here. Like you. And also you. And one of you, I think. Let's just go a little bit over here and see if there's somebody else we can talk to. We can talk to you as well. And you. There are just loads of people that we can converse with. And we'll start with you. Hello.
Those things are gourds, aren't they?
See.
Hey! Mind the footwear, lady.
And I don't think there's anything else that we can talk about there. So let's talk to you. We'll have to go in there at some point, I'm sure. And see who is there.
Hi.
You wanna buy something?
No, not really.
I got cabbages. Buy a cabbage, senor.
I don't think so. I didn't come all this way to buy vegetables.
Are you sure? What about this statue that I have? This probably isn't going to go down very well.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Aye, Tezcatlipoca. Put it away, senor. Tezcatlipoca brings nothing but evil.
The poor guy was so freaked, he didn't even mention his cabbages.
Now, he most certainly was freaked out.
See ya.
There's one more person we can talk to here, and one person we can talk to here. We'll start with you. How are you doing? There's also this person. I can talk to you.
Hi there. What have you got for sale?
¿Qué?
I said, what have you got... Oh, never mind.
We're unlikely to be able to get much of a conversation there. And what about you? Are you well? I hope you are.
Hi. Lovely bread.
¿Qué?
Bread. Pain?
Sí, pan.
Maybe I'll come back later when I'm hungry.
You could get a cabbage instead, though, George. That sounds like a much better thing to have. There's this to look at as well. I haven't looked at this.
It was an uninteresting little wooden hut with an armed goon outside it.
Ah, that is the bit that's probably preventing us from going in to have a look, isn't it? We could talk to the person guarding the hut. That seems like a good idea.
It was an armed guard looking after the barrier.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome to Guaramonte.
Thank you. Let's talk about the boat.
When's the next ship out of here?
But senor, don't you like our beautiful country?
We do. We're just making conversation.
Oh, yeah. It's like a little piece of paradise right here on Earth.
Then why you wanna leave?
I'm just plain homesick. Like it says in the song.
A word of warning, senor. If you feel like bursting into song, bite your tongue.
Huh?
There are official restrictions on music in Guaramonte.
Oh, let's talk about them in a moment.
We've had enough. We're going back to the ship.
Okay. You show me your brown card?
Huh? What brown card is that?
The official exit visa.
Oh, we don't have one of them.
How come music is restricted in Claramonte?
It is part of a great cultural enrichment campaign. Traditional Caramonte music is considered unsuitable for these fast-moving times. Nuestra Senora has decreed that only one category of music is suitable.
What's that?
Easy listening.
So that would explain why Miguel is in jail. We could go into here. I think it's probably a good idea to do so.
The stairs led up to the balcony.
Let's go over, but not before talking to the goat. What do you think, goat? Do you have any advice that will help us progress here? Do you know any secrets? If you do, You're not telling us. Let's go up here, shall we?
Hey, Nico!
We're both going to go. Excellent.
Hola, señora.
Hi. We were wondering...
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
The corporation I represent is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice, as the head of an obviously successful concern, is precisely what I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
Well, a few is a lot. Let's start with Karzak.
Have you heard of a man named Karzak?
No? Who is he?
He's the reason we came to Quaramonte. We think he's running a drug ring.
Well, I hope you find him, but I've never heard the name before.
That was a little bit direct in the information. Nico gave one story and then George is like, hey, by the way, here's the actual reason why we're here. You're not very good at this subtle thing, are you, George? Let's ask about the mining.
Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage. Somebody wanted my mine closed down for good.
Oh, who would that be?
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
Hopefully we'll be able to figure out who's doing that and get the mine open again.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
I get the feeling we might be going there at some point.
Do you know Professor Ubier?
Yes, I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition. He hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the general. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would the general be interested in an archaeologist?
He's unlikely to be interested in the archaeology. More likely what they'll find through the, dig. We don't know what that is yet. Let's ask about the lucky piece of coal.
You see this? It's my lucky piece of coal.
What's so lucky about it?
I'm not sure yet.
Nice buns.
Let's talk about the biscuit, shall we?
Would you like a dog biscuit?
Would you like a smack in the mouth, Chico?
I'll take that as a no. Let's ask about the stone.
Does this stone mean anything to you?
I think it is a spirit stone carved by a Mayan priest, no? I don't know which of their many gods it represents.
That's the most information we've got about that since we first got it. Let's talk about Condor Transglobal.
Do you recognize the icon on this label?
Condor Transglobal.
Did the company operate here in Quaramonte?
Yes, they ran an old container ship, the Mayan Princess.
Oh, so they do operate here.
Do you know who owned Condor Transglobal?
I've no idea.
We think we know. Let's ask about the eclipse.
Have you heard about the forthcoming eclipse?
I don't take much interest in things like that. One of the boys might know about it.
I'm sure we'll ask somebody else here. We might as well mention that, but not before we talk about this.
Would you be interested in these panties? They look about your size.
Is that your best line, Chico?
I'm serious. They were an unwanted gift.
Put them away before you get overexcited.
Maybe we'll find another use for them, but not right now.
Can you tell me anything about this statue?
It is Tezcatlipoca, the god of death and pestilence. That fetish would be considered by many to be a bad omen.
but you're not so bothered about it. We could talk to you.
It was one of Conchita's posse of hunks.
Let's have a conversation. Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon, and welcome to Consolidated Mining. If you are planning to stay in Cuaramonte City, may I recommend the Consolidated Mining Experience, an interactive hands-on tour of one of our deepest mines, with talking tour guides available in 3 different languages.
A tour of a mine.
Well, this is a mining company. What else did you expect?
That's a good question. I believe that's a conversation about the eclipse.
Do you know anything about the eclipse that's due soon?
Me? No, senor.
And we can talk about Karzak.
Do you know where I could find Senor Karzak?
No, senor.
And that's all we can talk about there.
How come you're not wearing any pants?
I feel more alert without them. Kind of perky.
And your boss doesn't mind?
She suggested it.
Anything we can look at? We can look at all this. We can look at the filing cabinet.
It was a store cupboard.
My mistake, a store cupboard. I doubt we're allowed to open that up. We'll try, though.
Keep out of there. That's where the explosives are stored.
The explosives? Oh, the mining explosives. That makes sense.
It was Conchita, the owner of the mining company.
Can we talk about the explosives?
I had nothing else to talk about.
Fair enough. We cannot talk about the explosives. We can talk to all these people. And I bet there are people over here too. But let's talk to these people first.
A disgustingly handsome man.
Hello, how are you? Are you well? Let's talk about the eclipse.
Are you looking forward to the eclipse of the sun?
Not especially. Are you?
I don't know. I've never seen one. All I know about eclipses is that you shouldn't try to view them with the naked eye.
Please. Go away and let me get on with my work.
What about Karzak? Do you know Karzak?
Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
Can't you see I'm busy? If I don't finish this stock report, the boss will be mad as hell.
I take it that's a no. What about you?
I couldn't understand why the female owner had surrounded herself with men like this.
Well, let's have a conversation. Maybe he knows something that will help us. Let's ask about the eclipse.
Did you know there's an eclipse of the sun in a few weeks' time?
Yeah, Joe told me about it. He's having a party and we're all invited. Me and the boys are dressing up as evil monks.
Yeah? Cool.
And let's ask about Karzak.
Ever hear of a guy called Karzak?
No, sir.
Fair enough. And what about you?
The guy was working away like an automaton.
Let's ask him about the 2 conversation topics we can probably ask him about. The eclipse and Karzak. First, the eclipse.
Do you know anything about the eclipse?
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I heard it's going to be pretty spectacular.
It's in a few weeks' time, isn't it?
9 days.
Thanks.
Now we have a number of days before the eclipse. Good to know.
Ever heard of a guy called Karzak?
No.
Fair enough. Anybody over here that we can talk to? Apparently we can, or is this the way out? This might be the way out. I think it is, actually. So let's just leave. Maybe there'll be more dialogue. Or maybe we can just go back to talking to everyone. All the information that we've been learning piecemeal from everyone else will surely all tie up together and help us gain access to that map. But it all seems a little disconnected for now. In time, I'm sure, it will all weave itself together perfectly. But for now, when we come back, folks, we'll continue talking to everybody here in the market area of Cuaramonte. And using the information we have, we'll be able to figure out how to get access to that map. Isn't that right, Mr. Goat? You'll help us out, right? I knew I could count on you. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.